We got it all.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow, that's official. All right, we are official. So Jordan Spurgeon here with Halle Harger at Arizona State Softball for starting the conversation today. And we're gonna jump right into kind of your story, but first off, I have one thing that's kind of been bothering me for a bit. What's the worst way that someone said your name before? Because I feel like when you see Halle, some people might not think it's Halle. So what's the worst way you've heard it?
It's not really the worst way, but everybody thinks it's Haley.
Haley.
Haley, yes. Nobody thinks it's Halle, which I guess either way, but yeah, Haley is where kind of everybody thinks it is.
Okay, so a lot of people think Haley, but it's Halle Harger.
Halle Harger,
so
yes.
Your story, Halle, so I'll have you walk me through it. So 2018, you find out that you have cancer.
Yeah.
So what was the process leading up to that before you found out that you had cancer?
Yeah, so I started my first 2 years of college softball at Boise State. So I was over in Boise when I did find out. I had a small lump that started kind of growing on the inner side of my groin. Is when I kind of noticed it, didn't think it was that big of a deal, showed my trainer. We were just about to start like preseason, kept playing because wanted to keep playing, obviously. It's my freshman year, kept getting bigger, finally decided it was probably time to just go get it checked out. Went and got it biopsied, and that's kind of where I found out that it was cancer.
So the moment that you found out that it was cancer, what went through your mind? Who was there with you? Can you take me through that?
Yeah. So I had my mom, my dad, and my aunt, all the athletic trainers from Boise State in there. We were in a room with just the doctor that had done my surgery. And I don't know, it's kind of a hard question. I feel like when everybody asks me that one, how I felt, obviously scared, but I mean, I knew I had a good support system. I knew that like, I don't know, I feel like I play college softball, like I'm a competitor. I was like, listen, like it is what it is at this point. We're gonna get through it, and like, here we go. Like I didn't necessarily know what to expect, but it was a journey that I was gonna have to start, and it's kind of where it started.
So when that clicked for you, when did you know like, okay, I'm gonna be okay, I just need to go through these certain steps first and go through the different sort of treatments and I'll be fine at the end?
I never necessarily knew 100% I was always gonna be okay. I mean, I feel like cancer is something that's definitely like, it can throw a lot of different things at you. So like, I never necessarily knew exactly how my timeline was gonna go. I think I started feeling more confident in my treatment and stuff when I transferred to UCLA. The doctors there were honestly awesome. All my surgeons, nurses, and everybody. So that when I got my treatment plan and kind of knew what I was gonna be going through, I feel like that's when it kind of clicked for me that I was like, okay, this is what we're doing, and here, like, let's get it started.
And at the time when you were going through treatment, did you think you were going to be playing softball again, or was that kind of just an afterthought?
No, honestly, softball was always something that I was thinking about. I even was like, I knew that if I could have my 2 surgeries, I could make it in time to go with my team to regionals. So I was like planning things around that to try to get to go to regionals with my team. I actually was able to travel to see my team play for regionals, which was super cool. I got to dress out and everything. So softball was always kind of something I had in the back of my mind about like, this is where I want to be again, and this is where that's what I want to do.
And so when you were getting back out there, your sophomore year at Boise State, what was that like getting back out there, and why did you eventually end up kind of shutting it down and then transferring?
Yeah, I think that's probably my biggest reality check kind of after like realizing, because honestly my treatment and my 2 surgeries went by very quickly. It was a short amount of time that I spent, but I was able to get back out there my sophomore year, probably a month or 2 after my radiation. And I think that's just when I realized that like things are different. Like I might look the same, but like my body moves differently. I was able to run a certain way. I was able to get to certain ground balls and like a certain amount of strength. And that's kind of when it kicked in that like things are different. You're not necessarily the same. Like you're a new normal. You're gonna have to try to figure that out. I think that was probably the toughest part for me coming back, and it happened so quickly. So
before we get to you transferring here, I've also gone through this with my family. I've seen how it changes your perspective. My mom went through breast cancer. How did this kind of change your perspective on just the way you see life going through that?
I mean, I feel like until then, I never had any huge like life-changing moments for me. I was kind of just living my day-to-day life, like with my family and everybody around me. I think it just kind of showed me that like you need to appreciate the small things, because at any second, literally your life could change.
Did that lead into your decision to come here where your dad was coaching and just kind of be closer to family, or was that kind of a separate thing?
No, for sure. That was probably one of my biggest decisions. I felt like during the whole time I was far away from my parents when this was happening. They were always coming, they were always there, but I also wanted to be able to spend my last couple of years of college softball playing in front of them, being able to go over their house whenever I wanted. My dad's been my coach my whole entire life, so it was comfort for me, and I wanted to finish off my few years with him.
What's that relationship like with father, daughter, and then also coach and player? How do you guys balance that?
I feel like we do a pretty good job. He was my coach all the way through travel ball, a year in high school. It was almost more weird when he wasn't my coach for my first 2 years of college.
Yeah.
So for me, that's my normal.
And so now looking at what you're doing this year, so we want to get into the walk that you guys are doing, the breast cancer walk you're doing next Saturday. How have you helped kind of organize that, and what are you hoping to get out of it?
Yeah, no, I'm the team leader for our ASU softball team. I've met a lot of really cool people through the cancer community, which I'm super grateful for, and they kind of reached out to me and were like, I think you should do this, I think you'd be really good at it. So two of the ladies that I know from the American Cancer Society got me involved in it, and we did it last year, but it was COVID, so it was a little bit different. It was a drive-through. This year we actually get to go in person, and I think it's just good to get the whole team together, get them around people. We get to walk with a bunch of the community, so I'm super excited. I think it'll be really fun.
Do you share your story with your teammates a lot? They all kind of know.
Yeah.
Do you talk about it at all, especially leading up to this event with them?
Yeah, they definitely all know. I'm very open to talking about it if they ask questions. Like, it doesn't bother me. So any type of like questions they have, I answer. But most of them all know.
So knowing what you know now and kind of being able to come out on top of this, because now you're back playing and you've got another year here, what advice would you give to somebody when they're in the doctor's office and they hear that, regardless of what type of cancer it is? What advice would you give them?
I would just to like honestly trust the people that you have around you. Really, just I would say lean on your family and your friends. It's a really scary time, but there's great doctors in this world. They're going to do everything that they can to help you, and just like to stay hopeful and fight.
So moving forward, so I saw you graduated with your bachelor's in health sciences. So what are you looking to do with that? Is it kind of something with spreading that message about health and wellness?
Yeah, my radiation therapist that I had over at UCLA, I had a really good relationship with. I really enjoyed them. They kind of got me involved in wanting to try to do that. So I want to be able to administer radiation to other cancer patients.
So how do you go about doing that now after, I know you're focused on softball right now, but after softball, what are the steps for you to do that?
After softball, I would definitely have to get into a program to do that. I'm still getting my master's right now, so I'll have my master's in communication too, and then I will look to go find a program to do that.
So before you get to all that, that's amazing stuff for your life. What are you looking forward to about playing softball one more time this year?
I'm just excited to be out there with my teammates and watch everybody do great things. I think we have a great team this year. We all have really good chemistry, so I'm just excited to see what we're going to do.
Who are you closest with on the team?
Closest with on the team, I would probably say Jasmine Hill.
Okay.
She's a fun one, so you guys will be fun watching her out there.
What's your relationship like with Coach Ford?
Coach Ford, she's like a mother figure to me. I've had her in my life for such a long time, through even just earlier, and like because my dad's been with her for a very long time, so I've known her forever. She's awesome.
So I guess we're backtracking a little bit here, but when you came, she had kind of told you at the time, hey, I know you're physically trying to get there, but let's get you mentally there to play, and realize you overcame cancer. What was that journey like for you when she was helping you out with that a little bit?
It was good. We got me set up with people just to kind of talk through it. I think that anything like that, you should definitely not try to just deal with it on your own. You should definitely try to talk through it with people. That really helped me. I did that in Boise too, a lot of just with my sports psychologist and stuff, and I think that's probably what helped me get to where I am today, being able to talk about it and like share my story.
A few more things for you too. So how do people get involved if they want to join the walk or at least donate some money next week?
I have everything on all my social medias. You'll be able to, if you donate $25 or more, I have shirts and hats that have ASU breast cancer related. Also, anybody's welcome to come out to the walk. We'll all be out there. There'll be a bunch of booths, because it's not just our booth. There'll be a bunch of other people, and we'll all walk together and just help raise money for breast cancer.
So everyone will be walking with the ASU softball team?
Yeah, and everybody else who has a booth out there.
Well, that's the selling point for everybody that wants to come do it. If you also want to donate and then also come out for that walk. Last thing for you, I guess, if you could go back to that time with what you know now, what would you tell yourself? Earlier we asked you what advice you'd give to someone else. What would you tell yourself about what your life's going to become a few years down the road? I would just tell myself that, like, even though cancer was an awful thing, like, I've got to experience, I got to do so many cool things out of it. I was at a point where I was like, why me? And like all the benefits I've gotten after have kind of shown me like why it was me. Great, thank you so much, Halle. Is there anything else that you'd like to add on about just this conversation or anything else?
I think that's it. Just try to come out and join the walk with us. I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Great, thank you so much, Halle. I appreciate it.
Thank you.